The Vivo V11 Pro was launched in mid-September, bringing some cutting-edge features like water drop notch and near bezel-less design, as well as under-display fingerprint scanner at an affordable price point. I have been using this phone ever since. This is my first Vivo phone and I wasn't expecting it to impress me, but I have been pleasantly surprised by this phone. So in this video, I'll share with you guys all the things that I really like about this phone, things that I don't like about this phone, as well as things that could have been better in this phone in my opinion. So without any further ado, let's get started. Starting with the things that I really like, this phone's display is on top of my list. This is a massive 6.41 inch 19.5 by 9 Super AMOLED display. As it has an AMOLED screen, it has perfect blacks and vibrant colors. It can get really bright and offers excellent viewing angles as well. Overall, this phone easily has the best display among all phones around the 25,000 rupees price bracket. Another standout feature of this phone is its design. In the front, you get a near bezel-less design with a screen-to-body ratio of over 91%. There is a notch here, but it's a small water drop notch, which I don't mind at all. The back has this dual-tone gradient design which I really like. In terms of battery, this phone has a 3400 mAh battery inside. Pretty average in terms of battery size, but in terms of battery life, it's really good. Not Poco F1 good, but still pretty good. I get about 6 hours of screen on time, while the phone lasts an entire day of medium to heavy use. And for those wondering how I got access to the screen on time, use Nova Launcher, add a widget, select Activities, go to Settings, and select Battery Usage Summary. That's it. What's even better is the charging speed of this phone. It has dual engine fast charging and comes with an 18-watt fast charger in the box. It charges the phone to almost 90% in 1 hour. That is extremely impressive. In terms of biometric authentication, the face unlock is insanely fast and even works in the dark. The under-display fingerprint scanner, though slower than normal scanners, is decently fast and quite reliable. For a company that incorporates camera and music in its tagline, I was curious to test both these aspects. Regarding the music side of things, I was very impressed. The loudspeaker is quite loud and clear and doesn't distort at high volume. Sound via the 3.5mm audio jack is also very good. It's loud, has good bass while preserving the mids and highs, and the sound stage is also impressive. Next in the tagline is the camera, and I have to say I'm absolutely blown away by certain aspects of this camera. First, let's quickly take a look at its hardware. The rear camera setup includes a 12-megapixel sensor with f1.8 aperture, as well as a 5-megapixel depth sensor with f2.4 aperture. The front camera here is an insane 25-megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture. Now let's see what this hardware is capable of. In outdoor shots, it captures a lot of detail with vibrant colors without oversaturating them. The dynamic range is absolutely fantastic. Even with the bright afternoon sun in the background, the subject doesn't become just a silhouette. Another area where this camera impressed me is its macro capabilities. You can get really close to the subject, and with super fast dual pixel autofocus and wide f1.8 aperture, you get perfectly focused macro shots with nice and creamy bokeh without any software effects. And the most impressive aspect of this camera setup has to be the selfie camera. It captures great amount of detail and good skin tones as well. And the HDR selfies are way better than on the Poco phone, even with the Google Camera app. There are also various light effects like rainbow light and monochrome background that are really cool. You also get a lot of AR stickers to have fun with. The camera interface is also very good with a lot of options like full manual control, Google Lens, some crazy face modifications tool and a lot more. Overall, as long as you take shots in good to medium light, this whole camera setup is definitely one of the best you can get. However, when it comes to low light, this camera becomes strictly average. The images become quite noisy. The low light performance is still pretty decent for the price. In the video department, even though you get up to 4K video recording, there is no stabilization of any kind at any resolution. I was hoping for EIS to come with a software update, but even after almost 2 months, nothing has come. Overall, the camera setup is really good, with a lot of potential to be even better with software updates. Now let's talk about the things that bring fun to Vivo's Fun Touch OS. First is the S-Capture screenshot tool. Along with regular as well as scrollable screenshots, you can also take screenshots with funny shapes or even doodle screenshots. There is also a one-hand mode which is a must-have on tall phones like this one. The notification shade gives you access to universal search as well as a barcode scanner that can be used for Paytm as well. Then there are plenty of options for always on display as well as animations for fingerprint scanner. In terms of performance, this phone features a Snapdragon 660 processor, which is an upper mid-range processor. You also get 6 gigs of RAM with excellent memory management. All this results in a very snappy user interface. The GPU duty is handled by Adreno 512, which is also very capable and will run most games in medium to high settings without any problem. So this phone offers really good performance, on par or slightly better than the competition, with the only exceptions being Poco Phone and Honor Play, as both of these offer flagship grade performance. Now let's talk about the things that I don't like about this phone, starting with the micro USB port. Priced at 26,000 rupees, this phone still uses micro USB in second half of 2018. This is simply unacceptable in my books. It should have been a USB Type-C port, no two ways about it. Again, at this price point, having eMMC 5.1 storage instead of UFS 2.1 is unacceptable. The competition like Poco F1, Honor Play and even Realme 2 Pro comes with UFS 2.1 storage at a much cheaper price point. Now let's talk about the not so fun part of Fun Touch OS. With every Android phone, all the toggles are present in the notification shade. But here the toggles have to be accessed from the bottom, which can be quite a learning curve coming from a different Android phone. A lot of Android apps support split screen multitasking, but here the number of split screen apps is very limited. Like Oppo, even Vivo makes accessing the developer options a big deal by constantly reminding that it has been enabled, which is quite irritating. And lastly, I don't have an issue with iOS design aesthetic, but I have an issue with Vivo completely copying it. They should definitely do their own thing instead of copying someone else's design. The biggest negative about this phone is how it stacks up to the competition. In terms of design and build, phones like Realme 2 Pro and Honor 8X provide equally good or better design and build quality for a much lower price. Phones like Poco F1 and Honor Play provide way better performance, again for a lower price. The V11 Pro does have some unique points like best-in-class display and under-display fingerprint scanner, but I don't feel they are enough to justify the price gap. Now let's talk about the things that could have been better. This phone, like the Poco F1, doesn't have widewine L1 support. It only supports widewine L3, so you are limited to 540p resolution video playback in Netflix and Amazon Prime Video. It's even more disappointing here given how good the screen of this phone is. This phone has the potential to be the ultimate mid-range media consumption powerhouse, but unfortunately, because of these DRM limitations, that potential is not fully realized. So that's everything I feel about this phone. Overall, I really like this phone, but it feels a bit overpriced to me. The software, though fast and feature-packed, has its share of quirks and borrows a bit too much from others. Even though this phone feels futuristic in many departments, it also feels outdated in others like micro USB port and eMMC storage. Design, display, camera, performance and battery, the 5 pillars of any phone, are all strong points of this phone. Add to that, both face unlock as well as under-display fingerprint scanner are well executed. So if you're looking for a futuristic phone at a mid-range price point, this is a really good option. But if you're looking for maximum value or performance, there are definitely better phones out there. So that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel down below. Thanks for watching.